Bhavesh Bhai, we're back after a blockbuster first episode. Why are you here today?
So I'm here because this was required.
How does it feel speaking to an Aghori?
I had a very powerful experience. We were at therapy. There was an Aghori who came. I went running behind. He just looked at me. Chitta pe unhone haath lagaya. He turned around. He walked. And next moment,
What is an Ugra Devta?
these deities take us to the innermost dimensions of realization. Then you will realize that who an actual deity is.
Have you ever had a sadhana where after beginning it, you realize that the deity didn't sit well with your own energy? Banaras has become a travel dream for a lot of sadhaks.
Entering Kashi is very, very powerful in its own ways. There are temples that you feel that, yes, Kashi is a
Should any tourist be going to Manikarnika Ghat?
Don't go into that territory because energies pick up anytime. And if that time, that will cause hindrance on your path.
I want to ask you how you visualize your own death.
I had a very, very powerful experience of so-called death. And I think
The last time we had Bhavesh Bhai on TRS, you guys turned it into a blockbuster episode. This particular conversation is just an extension of last time's conversation, which was centered around life after death. Bhavesh Bhai is one of those people where you have an infinite number of knowledge nuggets to extract from his mind if you're willing to ask him the right questions. This particular podcast is just a set of random but related questions from the world of Tantra, from the world of Sanatan Dharma. You'll enjoy this episode very much if you enjoy any content that features Bhavesh Bhai and Ranveer Bhai in the same frame. It's Bhavesh Yug who returns on TRS. Bhavesh Bhai,
Bhai.
we're back after a blockbuster first episode from this phase. After last time's recording, that conversation we had post the show, it was literally my emotional turning point from that time. I think this really strong, stable version of me began on that day. And today I meet you again at the brink of, I can say a little bit?
Yeah.
One more Anushthan that I'm taking. I would have never believed in the word Anushthan at age 22 or even before meeting Rajarshi Nandy for that matter.
Yeah.
Like, I would love for you to explain what an Anushthan is and how it changes your reality, because while they say many things are predestined, one of the advantages of being in Bhulok, this realm, is that you have free will. So what is an Anushthan? Why is it important?
Before going into Anushthan, I have one simple question. The Anushthan, that, of course, very blessed that you're walking on the path. What is the small understanding of Anushthan you have? Just tell me that, then we can enforce it.
For lack of better words to express this in English, it's a contract with the deity in some ways, where certain disciplines are required of the sadhak. So if you can follow through with those disciplines, what ends up happening at the end of the Anushthan, and it's lengthy, there is a lot of effort and discipline required, but what ends up happening at the end of the Anushthan is that either you or your reality is elevated in terms of consciousness.
So, Arba, this answer is perfect. Okay. But coming to the point, last time when we met, you were going through something. That time, the concept of Anushthan was not there. Now, when I see you, there is so much of grounding. There is so much of understanding. And it is very strange. Today, meeting you or starting something new, which is again something very powerful. As you mentioned, Anushthan is a kind of sankalp that we take.
What is sankalp?
Sankalp, now there are different kinds of sankalp. Sankalp is a vow or a contract, or I will do this for this many days. Maybe Purascharan, that is chanting the jap, or maybe not having water, maybe not having salt. That is a sankalp you take. Generally, a sankalp is taken normally to gain something. Or, I will do certain ABC so that I get a car. I will not, in order to look after someone, I will offer so many coconuts. Now, Anushthan is something, when I see a thing, is you do sadhana with certain, as you mentioned, days, time, allotment. with that deity, with your Ishta. And in the end, when we take an Anushthan, we do it as an offering. That we will do this. In return, you give us whatever you want. We don't want anything. But make me a perfect human being. That is my understanding of Anushthan. Secondly, when you're talking how we take Anushthan, when the Guru gives Anushthan or when you are taking Anushthan, it is not because you want to do it. First, it is the blessings of the deity, the Leela of the deity. Secondly, Anushthan that you are going to do now, or what we shared, and I'm very grateful that you shared, and you're on the right path because we all are instruments. The Anushthan that you're going to, in your case that you're taking, first of all, or anyone takes, it will have a lot of mental blockages.
As in?
It will block you. It will be put in situations where it will challenge you. And that time what happens, we start blaming the deity. Or maybe there will be a lot of physical issues, or there will be a time where things are going wrong. Even if that is happening, Arbai, don't stop. Your that attitude and that Anushthan and that sankalp and that awareness should be so much that till you finish, there will be a shift in you. And in that you will realize that there is nothing to ask because everything is taken care. So there are Anushthan, there are sankalp, there are many things that we do. My understanding is that when we do personally, we do it every day. And generally when we do Anushthan or when we pray also morning, we end the prayers by saying for everyone. So the highest sankalp and Anushthan is that uplift everyone. But when you are doing sadhana, in the beginning, to come to that state, what I see all the great yogis doing, they pray for everyone. We have to come at that level. And that is Anushthan that we evolve. In simple language. It has lots of pros and cons and lot of rules and regulations. Not pros and cons, lot of pros only. Rules only depending upon and what sampradaya or and what guru is giving. But what you're doing is right.
Should I not be sharing details about it publicly?
I don't think you should share it.
Okay.
Because I personally believe the relationship between or your spiritual journey between you, your guru and the deity is very, very personal. The fact that is happening with you, it's only meant for you.
And the knowledge about what I should do came to me from someone I met for the first time in my life randomly, who met me through one of the episodes. I don't have a guru.
It is very amazing how whenever, that is the reason, when you surrender completely to the deity, he or she, the deity that you're worshipping, will open doors. This is what Swami Datta told. Everyone is a guru. When the time is right, that will be done. And we think that help is coming or we think that we are doing it. She organizes or he organizes everything. So you're on the right path.
Like, I don't think Rajarshi Nandy is my guru. He's a bro.
Yeah.
You're a bro.
Dada is, yeah.
Like, and even the third person I've met who's told me something now is a bro only.
Yeah.
So three of you all combined are like being like a guru to me.
Yeah. The thing is, the concept of guru should be very, very clear that it is in everything and everywhere. Once you come into that problem that only this is a guru, that is guru, then guru is in everything. And it is true that whenever help is required, elements come, help you, and you move. Now after that, some other thing will come. But next time when I meet you, it will be something else. And see how nature confirms things after every intervals. So wherever you're stuck, some confirmation will come.
On a very material life level, not money, but the rest of it. There's a lot of chaos in my life right now and I needed those answers from you as well.
Yeah.
So again, this is like, there is some higher power here at play in my eyes.
It is just, first thing is all Leela. Second thing is our connection. And thirdly, I think whenever we have met, there has been some turning point. First time we met, that was explosion because awards also, I thought I will never meet you. Manishji said he might be, then I thought it's impossible. It's just that moment we met. And now also when there is a switch. So I think it is planned. And grateful you are in that understanding and even I am that we are not planning this. We are just instruments. It is happening and we are just flowing.
Okay. What is an Ashtami?
What is an Ashtami? I will give very simple answers. There is certain sadhana to be done for certain deities on certain days. So every deity has a day that we start with. So Ashtami is one of the days where certain sadhana is done. And the deity that you're worshipping, that sadhana is done that time. So now I'll come to more simple things. Ashtami is there, more simple things. Is that Monday is allotted for Shiv. Wednesday is, so when we look at the calendar, there are certain days with certain properties, certain deities are worshipped and they help you to go on the path in simple language without getting, because I have realized that the more we get into calendar and the lunar calendar and all the days, it is complicated. Like how I mentioned, special Aghori sadhanas are only on Amavas. But that the deity and that location and that place demands to get that energy out. It sounds very fascinating, but the deity will test you. And it is not testing you to show you that you're weak. It is a misconception. It is testing you to take you to the highest and remove all the negativity. It's a very beautiful journey.
You actually gifted me my first mala.
Yeah, it just happened. I'm telling you, so many incidents where we started actually bonding. And, it just came, and very strange. It came, and that day it got delivered also, and it came very fast.
I remember when it first came, I couldn't even do the Mala Jaap with my middle finger.
Yeah.
But I wanted to begin, so I started doing it with my thumb.
Yeah.
And then I saw a detailed video you made about how to do Mala Jaap in the right manner.
Yes.
And there are rules. You hold it up to your chest.
Yes.
You only use your middle finger to do it.
Now you remember we're talking about lokas?
Yeah.
The mala should not go to the lower lokas. It should be from the heart till above the reproductive organs. So they also, all the science is connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for someone who has seen that video for the first time, it seems a little intimidating that there's so many rules. And honestly, when I began doing it, I had to level up one step at a time. At this point, I do it the way you say, where you sit in one place, you light a diya, you use your middle finger, you hold it up here and do it. But it took me some time to reach here. Is this something that many sadhaks feel, or?
Yeah, in the beginning, even while doing the video, I was thinking it's too much. But now when you realize, after this point of time, that will come here. When this you will be acquainted, when the manas, the mind, the body will be acquainted with this, your upgrade will be chanting the mantra in the mind. So in the beginning it is difficult, but there is also level to it. And now even in this, while doing their levels, Vaikari Upansu Mansa. In the beginning, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Then with the mala, then in the mind. Then you will let go of the mala also. And then you will be in that mantra all the time.
This takes years.
You never know. Depending upon your sanskaras, depending upon how much you are invested, it will happen.
Okay. So many questions about the mala. Should you be doing your sadhana at the same time every day?
So, as a beginner, I would recommend do the sadhana at a fixed time. The Jaap mala that you're doing with the Jaap, don't wear it. The Jaap mala, when you do, keep it with the deity only. Do it at the fixed time. If you're completely new, don't worry about anything. Get the image of the deity. Do the Jaap mala. Put the diya. Do the Jaap mala at a fixed time. Close your eyes and meditate. And do that as a routine. Then you think that, abhi saturation aa gaya, I can't do anything more. Then increase one count. One mala. Then after that, also when you think that, okay, this is easy. First Namah Shivaya loudly. Then slowly. Then mind. It will get difficult, you'll realize. But the problem is, again, I come to the same point. It should not get monotonous.
This is what appeals to me about Tantra-based practices. Because I've been in multiple meditation schools, and my issue there, maybe because of my personality, was that it's starting to get monotonous. Yeah. Tantra doesn't seem monotonous. Tantra seems like you have to level up your own effort.
So, it is said only after mantra you can use yantra. And something very interesting about mantras, we chant mantras. Now you're telling me how we chant a mantra. But every mantra has an akshar and color. That is there.
Color.
Every mantra has a color also. Now, bija mantras I'm talking about in tantric point of view. And every mantra has important points like the rishi who gave the mantra. Second, the chandas, the meter, the layer of the mantra. Third is the male deity. Fourth is the female deity. Fifth is the bija. And the last is the kilaka, the pin of the mantra. Now, while doing jap, that is the reason we chant so many times. While chanting so many times, we unlock the mantra and the consciousness is experienced. So mantra in Tantra has a certain rule, regulation, certain understanding. Every mantra has Shakti also. Every mantra has Bija also. And every mantra has a lock. By doing Purusharan, you open it. And that Devta has experienced.
Couple of questions, okay?
Yes.
And these are sort of FAQs. Can you get to the end of where Tantra is supposed to take you without a guru?
There are very, very rare cases where the Devi herself becomes your guru. Like Thakurji. The Devi was always there from childhood. But when Totapuriji came and told, cut her, then infinite ho gaya. But the Devi was there. Secondly, when you walk on the path of Tantra, the Guru will come. At the right time, do the bit. Again, charge you, leave you. Charge you, leave you. And they operate in many ways. But I personally believe, or whatever I have understood on the path of Tantra, never let go of your deity. Hold on, because only your mantra will save you.
Okay. A second FAQ.
Yeah.
This is an FAQ that comes to me a lot, not online, but offline. One, I see a lot of people getting into Bhairav sadhana.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that this kind of sadhana appeals to them is because there aren't restrictions on alcohol consumption or meat consumption, which stops a lot of people from entering other spiritual paths.
Yeah.
How come there's no restriction on alcohol and meat?
See, Bhairav sadhana, Bhairav Baba is that deity who will listen to you very fast. Even in Bhairav, there are other kinds of Bhairav. But my point is, when you're taking alcohol or when you're taking any meat, depending upon the swabhava of the disciple, that should be done. Otherwise, that will cause hindrance on your path. If I'm a Pashu sadhak, I'm very into tamas and all. If I start taking alcohol, I'll become more into this. So that is the time where the Guru comes into play. And again, as I mentioned last time, alcohol is not the alcohol that we take. The alcohol was specially made as Aushadhi. And the meat that we talk, there are few tantric texts which make it very clear that no red meat is allowed. In few Tantra Sampradaya, fish is taken. White meat is taken. But red meat is not allowed. And meat at a higher level is anna and grain. So that awareness should come. They eat ginger thinking that that is meat so that the bhav changes from rajas to sattva and all. So that is very, very dangerous. People take it because it is very fascinating. And the problem is, even in Bhairav sadhana, if you're doing something, after a while you will need guidance. Saturation aa jayega.
Okay. One other angle I had with this question is, I'm talking about the average urban person who goes out on Saturday, goes out for a drink, goes out for a meal where you're ending up eating, say, mutton or chicken. But they also want to begin Bhairav sadhana or go deeper into it at a beginner level.
Not possible. I would not recommend. First, understand who Bhairav is. First, understand what sadhana is done. Panchamakara comes very late.
Here I'm talking just from
even
lifestyle.
Normally, even from lifestyle. That is not applicable at all. For them, they have to follow yam, niyam, balancing of senses. Because if you're thinking of doing Bhairav sadhana in the evening, going out and having meat, it doesn't matter. It is not going to come to an understanding.
So you're saying that consumption of alcohol or meat for fun or for your senses will come in the way of your sadhana?
It will. But the beauty is at the same time, that sadhana will move you away also from this. It is your conviction and that faith that you have that Bhairav will manage. Okay. But what I'm trying to get you very right, that people are just having it and then doing it won't work.
Okay.
It won't work. That mentality should change. Because starting point of Tantra is Shuddhi. Purity of the body, purity of deity, purity of mantra. Then that connection nahi hai. And first understanding what is Sadashiv and what is Mahamaya. Then only ye sab start hota hai.
Okay. I know that there are some sampradayas.
Yeah.
What's the word?
Sampradaya. You're good.
Yes. It means like school.
Yes. Schools or lineages or practices, whatever. Traditions.
Where, and I have friends in some of these, where during some of the meditation sessions, before the meditation, they actually given some bhang.
Again, there are. That is. But again, I come back to the same thing depending upon a sabhava habit. For example, I am very, very, very ultra hyper and I have something which will make me more ultra hyper, my sadhana will go on a toss. But if I take it with the right awareness and use it as an aushadhi and then do sadhana on it, but the Guru also will give you something more to balance it out. That is how it works.
So under the tutelage of a Guru?
Yes. Okay. Because he knows what you need. Okay. And he knows the quantity also what you need to get you there.
Okay. Now we can talk about just generally what's happening in your life. Now that all these are some very technical Bhairav oriented questions that not just I have,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of people on the internet have, because the amount of cricketers, politicians and
Yeah.
actors that reach out to me
Yeah.
to speak to Rajarshi Nandy
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah. No, Dada has made it very easy. Dada has made it very easy, but the problem is whenever Dada talks about it, listen to it properly what he says. Then only get into sadhana. Because I have realized when he says it very clearly. But we know we want shortcut.
What is Rajarshi Nandy from your perspective? Because you are also an advanced sadhak.
Trust me, I don't do anything. I just eat a lot and sleep. When I annoy him a lot. And I'm very grateful he doesn't get angry, but I annoy him a lot.
About what?
About everything. I just, I think he's very nice. He's like a father figure. He's very nice.
He's a good, helpful guy.
Yeah, he's
very advanced on his path.
Yeah, but he's very strict also with me.
Hmm.
I get this very nice, comforting, and I, honestly speaking, if you're asking very openly, very grounded and always giving.
Yet at the same time capable of delivering ferociousness through words.
Yeah. He's also very, if I have annoyed him too much for the day, then I know that one injection is coming. Yeah. How do you feel about him? How is...
I speak to people for a living.
Yeah.
I feel in some ways the same about you.
Yeah.
In terms of what I'm going to say right now. Sometimes when someone's talking to me, by the 40th minute or 45th minute, you and the guest enter a state of flow.
Yeah.
Okay. Which I enter with you and Rajarshi Nandy. Usually at the start, I don't have to work towards a state of flow. But still, even with you and him at the 40th or 45th minute, you're deeply in sync.
Yeah.
So when he was in front of me during the last few sessions, I always feel that he is not delivering those words at all. And it's an energy behind him that's delivering the words. Almost to the degree where there are moments where I feel like I can see something behind him.
Yeah. I see a flow. And very something amazing, when we were talking in Kashi randomly, we were not stopping. We were just... And even they were like, stop, we are not understanding what you're talking because this is beyond. And after that, when we were just laughing because that happens.
What do you end up doing in Kashi? Like when you go there? Because Banaras has become a travel dream for a lot of sadhaks. But I would like to know what someone as advanced as you does there.
Kashi is something which has changed me in so many ways. As being a Shiv Bhakt and holding on to Shiv, entering Kashi is like home. First of all, it is very, very powerful in its own ways. It is something which is a great reminder that, as I always say, in Kashi, Shiv is very different as compared to Rishikesh. Rishikesh is calm, smooth as easy. When Kashi, when you enter, it is his territory. And when we go to Kashi, we see to it that we go to Manikarnika. We just sit there. We go to Kashi Vishwanath, and Kashi has some very, of course, Kal Bhairav we go, some very powerful unexplored temples which we go and just sit.
Unexplored.
There are many temples in Kashi which are unexplored, and I'm glad it should be that way. And there are temples that you feel that, yes, it is
a portal.
It is a portal. Kashi is a portal. And very honest, when you go to Kashi, death is happening very common when you enter the Ghats, but you don't feel... I've seen many people going to Manikarnika for the first time and they're saying that it is okay.
Yeah. I went there with Manish Bhai. We actually recorded a vlog.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And he had said something very true. He said that when you're standing at the Manikarnika Ghat and seeing all those bodies burn, whatever's inside you will come to your forefront. And that was very true because I saw within my crew itself, one of the guys started joking around a lot. Another guy became very serious. And one other guy became very intimidated. I became very curious there. I had way too many questions when I was at Manikarnika. And I felt like Manish almost... I feel something which I don't want to say on camera. But you got kind of... But my question is, firstly, should any tourist be going to Manikarnika Ghat? Because it might be too intense an experience for a lot of people.
Thank you so much for this question, because nowadays Manikarnika has become a point where people just go, click photos, make content. I personally believe that I will tell you our personal experience. This happened 2 times with us. Whenever we went to Manikarnika, we didn't have a head bath after coming back. And 2 times we had a major accident. We had this. So it is said in the Shastras also, when you go to a cremation ground, घर पे जाके नहाओ. So we had the experience. Secondly, Manikarnika, it is still a cremation ground. Though it is not intense like other ghats, it is still intense. And I think that don't go into that territory. Even if you want to go to Manikarnika, go from Kashi Vishwanath behind, look and just leave. And if you're going, then you better have some kavacham or some chanting, because no matter you think, oh, nothing is happening, energies pick up anytime. And if that time you are more emotionally not stable, then it is going to hit you. So I would recommend that please be careful, because nowadays everywhere it's just trending. Without the right knowledge, people just go sit there and trying to look for Aghoris. Not right.
They're probably not even at Manikarnika.
Yeah, not even. I had a very powerful experience of an Aghori on the opposite side of Manikarnika. This time I tried looking for him. No. They don't want to be there. It has got so commercialized.
Opposite side, as in the non-tourist side.
Non-tourist side, yeah.
you
There
walk
used to live a lot of Aghoris where I met. Very amazing experiences. But now there is nothing there.
Are you talking about the island?
Yeah, the sand, yeah, opposite house.
Got it.
When you cross the river.
So there's the Ghat, there's the river, and then there's the island.
There used to be actual Aghoris. And you know, they are shy. They don't come out. They're small huts. They live there. And the night they used to come, do their sadhana, collect whatever, do sadhana, sit, and then come back again. But this time, no one. There were shops and all there. So a lot has been changing. But yes, the Ghat is there. Few sadhaks do come there on Amavas and do their sadhana, but late night.
How does it feel speaking to an Aghori?
They don't talk. Whoever I've encountered, they don't talk. We think they are very, very rude. They are not rude. And they are very shy. In fact, they don't like to, not shy, but they don't like to mingle around or waste time. I had a very powerful experience. This happened with us only. We were in Tarapet. And I know no one will believe it, but the guy who used to record with us and all of us were shocked. We were at Tarapet and the Smashan, the body. I told I want to make this because it is just coming, flowing. We sat, and when I entered, there was an Aghori who came. And I get very happy and I get excited. I try to hold them. I went running behind. He just looked at me. He wo chita pe unhone haath lagaya. And till the time I was running, he turned around, he walked, and next moment gone. Daylight, 12 o'clock. The guy who was holding the camera and Parveen, Anjali and all were there. We were all like, no one could believe, but this has happened. We saw it. And on the other side, they say that there are some authentic Aghoris, but they don't want to come in public.
You're talking about the Banaras Island?
About Tarapet, about Bengal ke aage. That is a very powerful ground. At Banaras, they don't want to come. I think they come only in the night because people are just surrounding there. People are sitting, taking videos. I think it should be like this only. We should not play with nature.
What do you think is the origin story of many of the Aghoris that exist in 2024? Because they were probably born in the 70s, 60s. Were they living a normal life before becoming an Aghori? Or it's different for everyone?
It is very, very different. I had an encounter with an Aghori who was very well educated, traveled, very fluently speaking. He got a call, he met his guru. And different lifestyle. He had everything, name, fame, power, everything left. Came into Kapal Sadhana, which is very, very rare. And then never looked. Another Aghori I met, only looking, I think he was very, very old. Only looking, I was scared. They have all different stories, but the love for Shiv and Shakti is extreme. Extreme. We are scared of Aghoris because an Aghori is a person who has left everything in the hands of Divine Mother. Everything from food till they are Digambaras, they don't wear anything, till lifestyle, everything they eat, whatever they get. If you are in that state where you see everything as Divine Mother, you are an Aghor. You don't need to wear ashes. You don't need to wear living modern examples, not modern, of course, sorry, that Aghori and then Ramana Maharishi, Thakurji, they also Aghori. When that state has come, you are an Aghori. But the practices that they do are scary, intimidating, but they are in that state. I had some very beautiful encounters, very blessed. Recent was in Kashi when that great Aghori told me about the Hasta Kali, where she's sitting in the heart and laughing. So he said he had that encounter. Amazing. So we think Kali is only one type. There are different.
Have you ever had a sadhana where after beginning it, you realize that the deity didn't sit well with your own energy? You don't have to name the deity.
No. Ugra Devtas are very different. They will get you done. They will they will create situations where you have to go for sadhana. So our normal sadhana is every day that we do. We have to do. That is the reason this knowledge is coming or whatever. When we go for sadhanas or when we do sadhanas, I believe everyone, if you actually want to do sadhana, leave everything, go in seclusion and just be and pray. Do your mantra, sit, chant, be in that awareness, you will come to know what sadhana is. Because now when we do sadhana in a day-to-day life, it's very selective. We are not doing justice.
What is the logic behind doing an Ugra Devta sadhana in the first place? Like along your own path. So say you're a Bhairav Upasak.
I am a Shakta Kali Upasak. Yeah, but Bhairav Baba also is there. But yeah. Yeah, all Ugra Devtas, yeah.
First of all, what is an Ugra Devta? Like Aghora Ganpati would be, like for the sake of this example, because
Yeah, Aghora Ganpati.
Rajarshi Nandy brought it
Yeah.
up. He said that you don't do Aghora Ganpati prayers at home. You don't keep the murti at home. This is done in temples
Yeah.
and it's very elaborate. If you bring it home, there will be explosivity at home.
Definitely. Even like Hanumanji. What worship Hanumanji we do, I will just talk some basic outline. Like Aghora Ganpati only. Hanumanji, the most simple Hanumanji sadhana is putting a diya, folding hand, Hanumanji, and praying. Then you can do Hanuman Chalisa. The most difficult is 21 step Hanuman Chalisa. Not Hanuman Chalisa, Hanuman Vidhi. Full detail mein. Then there is very detailed where on Tuesday nights at 12 o'clock you chant the longest mantra. You Ugra Hanuman is with the Panchamukhi and Tantra with that yantra. So they are all Ugra Devtas. When you enter that, then the deity also demands that kind of sadhana. The relation is very, and depending upon a sabhava. So few things you're not meant to do, and if you're meant to do, then you go full-fledged in it. Then there is no turning back. Then you can't be like 2 days I do, then I take holiday. No, 1 day I do job, then I take holiday. No. Then you will constantly be pulled here and there.
And I'm assuming the Anushthan, if done correctly with those Ugra Devtas, will give you an even larger jump in your spiritual journey.
It will form that. It will give you, these deities take us to the innermost dimensions of realizations. Then you will realize that who an actual deity is. Is that deity what I think Ugra is actually Ugra? No. When you worship Ugra Kali also, that Tripura Sundari also comes. So they take you.
With these Ugra Devta sadhanas, how much time does it take up in one sitting?
Depends upon your Anushthan. And also depends upon your mantra. And also depends upon many factors. Like how I said, the Hanumanji that you worship in the Rudra Roop, that is done specially to remove all the negativity or to gain siddhis. But that should be done in a certain time and a certain number and a certain posture and a certain yajna. Too many things.
Too many rules.
But you're demanding something, no? That is the reason I generally get very, not scared, but I don't talk in detail about Ugra Devtas, because whatever I have realized or whatever we are getting is they are doing the sadhana to get something out. The goal is to be one, to break the barriers and reach the highest.
Fundamental law of spirituality that people forget.
Yes. And the deity gives also. Because that is a deity, that gives also. But then again, give and take, there's some problem. That is what I believe. The highest should be love and love alone.
Between the last time we met and this time, it's around a year.
Around
roughly.
a year.
Has your perception of reality changed in this 1 year?
A lot. My sadhana has changed. My understanding has changed. And what I'm understanding that there is so much that has happened that the human world can't accept, and there is no need to tell also to anyone. It is our journey, you walk ahead. If someone needs to know, then it will be arranged. That has happened.
If people don't listen to you on a podcast, or if people don't know you in person, I don't think one understands who Bhavesh Bhai is truly. But the thing is, most human beings who have seen your face have seen you on reels, and you come across as very knowledgeable and eloquent. And then when you meet Bhavesh Bhai in person, you realize that he's one of the most potent channels for energy to flow through himself.
Arfa, I'll be very, very honest. I'm just sitting. As I met you before, I was normal. As we sat here, there was a switch. Whatever information comes, it comes. I don't hold anything. And that's it. It comes. There is a switch, and the deity, or whatever, everything is offered. Because if you ask me, tell me anything what is written in that book, this book, I don't know. It's all Anubhav that is talking. Yes, they talk. Like I experienced when I told you, we do so many talking and all, it never happens. But with you, with Dada, there is something which, there is no thinking next kya baat karna hai. It just,
I'm able to see a question, you're able to see an answer.
it just flows. Like I remember with you also, first time it is flowing with that. It is just, and it feels we are not, there is no fake. It is the way it is. That is something very beautiful.
I want to ask you about why you decided to put up content on social media. What was the idea behind it, or were you told to do this?
I was told to do this by Anjali. We were on a trek. It just happened. And it is very strange. Again, I tell you the same thing. The deities also take over the page. Now, all of a sudden, it's only Hanuman on a page. And we are just talking about Hanuman. And then only it is Shiv, then only Kali. It is amazing how they work. Amazing.
Is it a function of time in terms of, I know in the long term, certain deities wake up in certain time periods and then are dormant in certain time periods. But also through the year, that is what I would assume. That near, for example, Mahashivratri, we know which deity is the most active. Similarly, at the time of Janmashtami, we know which deity is the most active. What is this cosmic dance? And again, this is for people who understand Sanatana. This is not for beginners, but go on.
Yeah. Thank you. Because if I say something again, kuch bhi bol raha hai, kya bhi bol raha hai, but you know what we are saying.
Yes.
See, the best time to do personal sadhana is during the 4 sandhyas. That is Brahma Muhurtam, 12 o'clock, evening 6 o'clock, and then evening when you put Deya. When you're doing Ugra Devta deity sadhana, it is in the night. Now there are few times and according to few nakshatras and the alignment of the planets, few deities' energy is the highest. During Mahashivratri, it is Shiv's element that is. So it is said in the Puran that this is the time where Shiv takes over the creation and Shakti takes a step back. During Navratri, Shakti takes over because that energy is working. And also it is the sadhak's bhav through which it connects. So all the Shakti sadhaks during Navratri, Gupta Navratri or Chaitra Navratri, they go all Shakti energy. So that cycle of the calendar is very different than compared to the English cycle. And this is where there's difference. We are completely working on the moon. Like if you do Dashama Vidyas, Tripura Sundari, you understand the entire sadhana of Tripura Sundari is from the waxing and the waning of the moon. There's so much science that we don't know. That is the reason knowledge is very important.
One cycle.
Half cycle. So that Tripura is just worshipped in different forms during that.
How much time daily?
Depends.
2-3 hours?
Depends.
Okay.
If again I come back for beginner, even if you're doing one mala, you don't think in 5-6 months something is going to happen. It will take you 1 year easily to get some change. Very important. And also the thirst also to evolve is very important.
The thirst to evolve.
Yeah. The thirst to know, the thirst to understand emotions, the thirst to handle situations, the thirst to know that there is something bigger. That thirst is constantly required to decode your existence.
There is a guest who's been on the show who Rajarshi Nandy dislikes. I'm not going to name that guest. Who has an immense amount of knowledge, but often brushes off these kind of conversations, which are slightly of a higher realm. And this is exactly what I feel about that guest, that there's so much knowledge and there's such a deep analytical mind that evolution is not happening.
See, the first step of Tantra or the first step of any sadhana will start when you go beyond intellect. Only when the rational mind will start, then magic will start.
When you go beyond intellect.
Beyond the mind.
Which is why children can evolve.
For example, now Arva, you come to me and you said, Bhavesh, I had a beautiful darshan of tomorrow's Baglamukhi Jayanti. I have the beautiful darshan of Baglamukhi. It is not in the mind and the senses. It is in a space where you are experiencing her. But you know that even Baglamukhi is coming from the same. And no one is meant, that is when I tell people, don't share their spiritual experiences. It is meant only for you. But that experience will give you faith and no one can take it away. And that has happened in your case so many times.
Dreams.
Yeah. Dreams are amazing. In one of the Upanishads that is said that if you have a very important task to do, and suppose you have a task at 5 o'clock and you just go for a nap and you see an old lady cleaning a floor, that means your job is done. So dreams are indicative also. Then there are dreams when the guru comes and gives you a blessing, or when you have dreams when deities, or when you have dreams that tomorrow what is going to happen. And when you have dreams where normal people like us, when we dream, it is said that whatever negative or pent up emotions you have, it is released in the dream. So dreams of many, many times. Many, many times.
I had a bit of a professional fallout recently where there was latent anger. I had a recurring dream where I was beating up that person a lot. And that's not something I would do. I'm a very peaceful guy.
Yeah, so in order for the so-called modern mind, the human mind, what the rishis have given, it has created a mechanism to remove the impressions. Also, when you have such dreams that it is happening in real time and you feel it on the body also.
Yeah.
So this is when you have access to the sanskaras. So when we talk about dreams, it is a portal of understanding.
Do you ever have negative dreams at this stage? Where it feels so real? Because this is something that's started happening to me only in the last 1 or 2 years. It happens once or twice a year. Very deeply negative dream. Okay? That pulls me in and I think it's real. Then I wake up and I realize, oh, thank God, it's a dream. And the moment I go to sleep, I slip back into that negative feeling. But it's so gripping that once I'm in it, it feels like reality.
This is a fact. This happens. In very beginning, I've gone where there were a lot of emotions and I was lost what to do, what not to do. It is when the subconscious mind and the conscious mind are coming together. The thing is, now when I talk about it, I would just say it's a cleansing. It's a process of cleansing happening and it is good that it is happening or going through it. But if you're holding on to it,
No.
Have you ever realized if you're dreaming something, Arbai, have you realized how do you look in your dream? Think about it. Or you are just randomly placed in that place. How did you get there? Just think. Or whenever you're dreaming, try to look at yourself. We can't see how we look.
In higher sadhanas, is there a higher role of dreams as well?
Definitely. In higher sadhanas, I think these great rishis and higher sadhaks, they don't get dreams. They get clear visions. Visions. They get indications from the deity, or, at that time, the state of consciousness is so much that you tap into other things also. It just comes to you. Very possible.
Is there anything you have not liked about your own evolution?
To be honest, I'm enjoying it. The only problem is, at times, I think I just want to take my bag and go in the mountains. That is not happening. That is not happening. That is a conflict, but it is a wish. Yes.
Okay. That's all.
That's all. Rest, I'm okay. Wherever she has placed me, there was a lot of friction, but with evolution, you realize that it is her wish. The day she wants, she'll get me, or the day she wants, she'll take Instagram, she'll take everything. That always, gratitude is always there. That has come.
You're already detached from all this growth you're seeing on social media.
Very strange. Yesterday, someone was asking us, oh, you're getting so famous and all. But I just said nothing because it's very awkward for me. But inside that realization was there that this goes, then it's her wish. It's okay. Whatever, she'll keep me. And I'm not saying it, I'm experiencing it. It is, yeah.
I think even people can feel the truth in that.
Yeah, no, generally, it is very strange because yesterday this happened and someone said that, oh, you're becoming this, that. And in my heart was like, you don't know, if she wants, she'll take it like this. It is her wish. And I was very contented. Like, honest answer. At the same time, I also know that if she wants to put me in tapas, she'll put me in that also. But she will never let me go. She will never let me go. That is Anushthan.
The last episode was all about death.
Yes.
We just spoke about death for so long.
Yeah.
So I'm not asking you the following question from that perspective. I'm almost binding you to your human form and asking you about your own death. How do you look at it? Because there was a point in my life, maybe at age 24, 25, where I dreamt of having a death surrounded by luxury, surrounded by family, surrounded by comfort. And as I've met people like yourself and Rajarshi Nandy, now I dream of a death which will happen during meditation. So I want to ask you how you visualize your own death.
How honest can I be? I had a very, very powerful experience of so-called death. And I think it is nothing to fear about.
During sadhana?
During sadhana, of course. All is sadhana only. That is the reason, if you realize, whenever I talk, first thing comes sadhana. Then only everything.
Did it hurt you physically?
No, my guru was always there. My deity was always there. And there is nothing to worry. Nothing to worry.
Why are we made to worry or have a negative emotion towards death in the first place?
You know, this is very, very strange. I always had this question when the path started off by His grace, that if I've not experienced death, why do I have fear? I've not been to the place, why should I worry? But then when you mature on your sadhana, you realize that you have gone through the process multiple times. And everyone at a human level has a fear of the unknown. In darkness, there is fear always. Even in darkness, even if the God is sitting, you'll have fear because you can't see the God. Same is happening with death. But there is nothing to worry about. I don't think you have to worry about anything. What you should worry is about two things. That you don't become pridey person, you don't have ego, and you don't think that you are doing something. If that comes, that is more horrible than death.
Can't believe I'm going to say this, okay? But there was a recent podcast we did with someone who was very high profile. And we actually started speaking about death. And all his negative emotions about death started coming out. The bit of fear, the bit of why I don't even want to think about this. So my question to him was, why don't you want to think about it?
Yeah.
And his question was, why do you want to think about it? And my answer was, because I meet people like Bhavesh Bhai.
You're too kind, yeah.
It's a very important thing to talk about, to think about, because I feel you need to prepare yourself for that moment. I also want to say that some level of analysis about my guest always ends up happening over the course of a conversation. This same person was materially, obviously, very successful. And when I finally disagreed with him, I said that if I ever need material advice, you'd be the first person I'd listen to. But how can I listen to you about your opinion on death when you don't even think about it?
Yeah.
And it kind of became such an uncomfortable part of the conversation that we cut it out from the final edit. Because it would have been controversial.
Yeah.
But this had happened. And I still look forward to meeting Bhavesh Bhai, Gauranga Das, all these people to speak about this topic.
You know, I'm very grateful you're doing it, because just talking openly, I met few people and they said that, oh, Arbe only talks about death. And you know how I responded? I said that he's talking about death because as far as met him off also, he's thinking about something that. Are you thinking about that? You know, we fear, and whatever we don't like to hear, we shun it away. That is a problem. The fact that you're thinking, and the fact that you ask such questions, or the fact that you also talk, or we talk behind the camera also, there is that one thing which is there. Awareness is there, which is good. And many people don't have it.
I'm trying to understand why, because let's take a natural death, for example. It happens in old age, but on the way to that point of natural death of your body, a lot of other stuff is dying. Your ambitions are dying. Your unfulfilled dreams are also dying in many capacities. So you're being brought to a point of very deep humility on the way to natural
Definitely.
death. And I think that's why when you die through an accident or when you die through murder, you're not expecting it, and all your other stuff is still very alive.
Definitely. I also believe that death is something, it is nothing to be worried about. And the fact, the first curiosity of a seeker is that what's going to happen when I die? And it starts with that, why am I born like this? Why am I human? What is happening? Why this family? Why this work? That curiosity has started. When talking about that, what if there are two extreme people? Those who want to understand and decode and don't want to explore the unsaid, those who want to shun it away completely because there is no acceptance. Why? Because there is complete attachment to the identity.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about attachment to the identity, because that's what hurts the most at the point of death. Right?
Yes.
I'm leaving behind my son or daughter. I'm leaving behind my husband or wife.
That Maharishi Patanjali has given very beautifully, Abhinivesh, fear of death. That is the greatest attachment. And there are three types of fear of death. One is that I'm going to die. Second is I can't see others dying, someone very close to me. And third, even after death, my name should be there. Yeah, Amar Bhanna hai mujhe. Imagine 5,000 years he decoded this, and even now it is applicable.
No one's truly Amar, right? Who's someone we know from like 20,000 BC?
Amar in this body, very rare. No, very rare. Might be saints, great gurus, but they are beyond. In different lokas, yes, but I've not encountered who's Amar. Amar is only Shiv, Shakti, Kal Bhairav, all these rishis.
Which is why the third fear actually shouldn't make logical sense.
Yeah, but people are crazy, they want so much identity that, when I die, this street mere naam pe, this is my property. Livingly, they are dead. And I think a person living dead is when they don't have the will to fight back. You're dead. You're like a vegetable. That is the reason, again, I come back to sadhana, because that will give you the power to live life.
It's the only thing you carry beyond death, according to me.
Yeah. And what you carry now, this is something very good in the Shastras. You will leave your body, you will leave your looks, you will leave your money. What you will carry is all the punya that you have done, is all the knowledge that you have gained, and all the sadhana that will never leave you. And that is taken to the next birth. Nothing else.
Do you think that there's a lot of untapped knowledge in a lot of human minds around us?
Definitely. There's a practice called Kapalbhati. It comes in the Hatha Yogic Kriya. We do it. It is specially meant to tap into the frontal lobe of the brain, which is a portal to higher consciousness. And that works a lot. It is a basic requirement when you jump into Hatha Yogic Tantric practices. Very important.
I saw this one interaction you did with Nusair from where you did, I think, a Bhamri.
Yeah, a Brahmari Pranayama.
Are you comfortable doing it once?
Yeah.
Just to show people what you did?
Brahmari is a very interesting pranayam. Beginners, Brahmari, when everyone, they do Brahmari, they do it by making the humming sound or the makara of Om. That is, they inhale and or they take this mudra and they do it. But when you advance into some intense Hatha Yogic practices, of course, this is some gift of great gurus only. You inhale like a male bee and you exhale like a female bee. Now what happens when you inhale like a male bee and exhale like a female bee? In Tantra, when they talk about the wine is the nadi, the Ira Pingla. And here is the bindu which oozes out the experience of bliss. On a very physical level, this will heal all your insomnia and everything. At a spiritual level, it will give you the essence of nectar, which is falling from the nasopharyngeal cavity. So how we do it? When I inhale like a male bee, I will inhale from the glottis. When I exhale like a female bee, I will exhale from the nasopharyngeal cavity. That is here. So the inhale is bee, male bee, exhale is female bee. This is the sound. Switch. So we exhaled from the nasopharyngeal cavity. Now, while doing this, I'm taking certain bandhas and a mudra is formed. This is how we do it. I'm not doing justice, but
No.
yeah.
What actually changes inside you every time you do this?
It brings the mind to that awareness again and again. And all that is not required goes. Also, it pushes the prana from the throat to the third. If we do it in the proper understanding, and that is, pranayama is something very, very powerful. And people say that pranayam karo. No. When normally a person is doing pranayam, it will only give you mental and emotional balance. When actual pranayam is done with bandhas, it will mental and spiritual. You are playing with that Shakti.
How do you even learn it the right way?
Only under the guidance of a guru. You need even there are practices where we eat the cloth. We eat the cloth which goes in, then we do practice and then we remove it. Yeah, so these are Hatha Yogic practices that we do so that the body is strong. Then we move to the breath. Then we move to the mind. That is another sadhana, another level of sadhana altogether.
This is obviously physically very difficult.
Physically very difficult. But that physical sadhana will make you mentally so strong, you're going to become bulletproof.
Like you spoke about Kejri Mudra the last
Kejri
time.
Mudra was, yeah.
This is a new one.
This is after Kejri Mudra, you'll have maximum benefits. So Kejri Mudra should be done with this. So everything adds on the more you do. That is the reason experience is very important. I may read 10,000 books, but again zero. Because the mind is full of jealousy, full of fear.
Do you feel a negative emotion at this point?
I feel a lot of hunger, yeah. When I get hunger, I get cranky. So I realize that human body has its own limitation.
You feel hungry?
Hungry, no, like emotions are there when I get hungry.
Hangry.
Hangry, yeah. But I also realize when nowadays if I get very, very angry, there is that awareness that shut. But body limitations are there. So until you're in the body, there are limitations. But I think these great yogis have gone beyond the body also.
Go on.
Yeah. No, tell me.
I like that even this podcast has become about death only.
Yeah. That is something which is going to come here. You bet the earlier you embrace it and the earlier you understand that mera time aa raha hai and I want to give my best. And if someone was arguing with me about death and I told you die every night. You're dying in your own fear. You're dying in your own cage that you have created. And what if you die in the night and never wake up in the morning? Then then they fight. They know you're always philosophical, you have not seen life. Then this is the problem.
Do you get a lot of doubters now as well?
I get a lot of people who hate us. At the same time, they love us also. Hate because they can't accept that this is happening. Or there is something like this. Because we are so conditioned as we started the last podcast. Saying that so much conditioning is there. And the problem is, my point is very simple. Hate, wait, whatever. You practice. You practice, then your questions will change and my answers will also change. But they don't want to practice. Everything insta. This is what the problem is.
So what is your mind's way of processing anyone who feels negative emotions towards you? Now that could be hate and or jealousy and or misunderstanding. Because I took some time to... Hate didn't affect me, but I took time to understand the predicament of a hater until someone told me that it was actually Diljit Dosanjh.
Yeah.
He said that haters also actually part of what's inside your body.
He's something very beautiful. He's a total Vedantic, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's something very Vedantic he spoke.
This is how you process it? That it's elements of yourself you're just meeting?
Yeah, whenever I encounter such hate and all, no, this is I process it. But at this level to count it, I just pray for them. I just pray that whatever shackles you have made, you just free yourself.
And this applies to everyone who's not even trying to be famous. You're that bua who gossips about you or someone bitching about you.
And something which I do personally, every morning after finishing my puja, I pray for everyone. The known, unknown, creatures, living, non-living, anything that are sustaining in His grace, may be happy. So that I do. I get it that is how puja is done. That we do it. So usme sab aa jate hai.
Okay.
Very aware, yeah.
There's a part of my mind that's not seeing any more questions.
Yeah.
So. Even this was like some nectar that,
Yeah.
was the last bit. I could feel that happening.
Even I There's a very interesting topic about panchakoshas and all, but we need good solid time on that.
Yeah. It's a nice, cute 1 hour
This
long.
is very raw, and I think we need to get at this level also. That is too much also at times, all the time.
Yeah. All I'll say is thank you for all the help.
Thank
Bhavesh
you,
bhai.
thank you, Arbhai. Thank you so much.
Thank you for 2 epic episodes. And most of all, thank you for just entering our lives.
Thank
That's
you,
all of us.
Thank you, Arbhai.
I might thank the energy that made this happen, but you're touching a lot of people's lives.
Arbha, I'm very grateful to you. It's only because of you this is happening. Full surrender. And more than that, it is that chemistry also that is there. It is not on screen. It's something very, the deities and the divine and our karma, of course. Very grateful for everything.
Same here.
Very grateful.
Looking forward to hosting you in our next epic space.
I'm always ready with this. The best part is it is not planned.
Yeah.
So it gets more intense.
Yeah, 100%.
Looking forward. Thank you so much. Hari Om Tat Sat, Arbhai.
Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
That was part 2 of our special conversation with Bhavesh Yog. If you've not checked out part 1 yet, we'll link it down below. If you've not checked out our other Tantra Vidya episodes, we'll link those as well. Let us know what you thought of this particular episode. Send in your guest recommendations. Lots of Tantra experts will be featured on the Ranveer Show over the coming months. And until next time, guys from Ranveer and the team, thank you for your support. Hari Om Tat Sat.